All right, if you wear glasses, I want you to do something for me right now. Just take them off for a second. See how the world just goes all soft? The edges get fuzzy, trying to read anything is a total pain. Okay, now put them back on. Instantly, everything's sharp. It's clear, it's effortless. But have you ever really stopped to think about why that happens? So let's really dig into this, because it's kind of weird when you stop and think about it. I mean, the glasses themselves, they're not making the letters on your screen sharper, right? They're not making the leaves on a tree more defined. Reality itself isn't changing one bit. So what in the world is actually going on here? I think most of us just tell ourselves a simple story. Something like, my eyes are weak, and glasses fix them. And yeah, that feels right. But here's the thing. If they actually fixed your eyes, wouldn't the world stay clear when you took them off? The fact that the blur comes rushing right back, well, that tells you something totally different is going on. Glasses aren't a repair job, they're a tool.
Okay, so to really get how that tool works, we first have to understand the eye. And honestly, the best way to do that is to think of your eye as a little high-tech camera. Its job is really, really simple. Let light in and focus that light perfectly onto a sensor.
It all happens in 3 basic steps. First, light comes into your eye. Then, it passes through your eye's own built-in lens. And finally, that lens focuses the light onto a surface at the very back of your eye, called the retina. Now, if the light lands perfectly on that retina, you get a super sharp, crisp image. But if it misses, even by the tiniest little bit, boom, you got blur.
And what's so cool is just how perfectly this comparison lines up. The pupil, that's your camera's aperture, controlling how much light gets in. The lens in your eye, well, that's the camera's lens, doing all the focusing. And the retina, that's the sensor, the thing that actually captures the image for your brain to process. It's practically the same hardware.
So, this is the really big takeaway here. Seeing clearly has almost nothing to do with how strong your eye muscles are. Nope. It's all about physics, about geometry. It all comes down to one single question. Is the light focusing on the exact right spot? So when your vision is blurry, it doesn't mean your eyes are broken or weak. It's just a simple technical focusing error. Think of it like a tiny misalignment. Let's break down the 2 most common ways this happens. Okay, first up is nearsightedness. For people who are nearsighted, their eye's lens is actually a little too powerful. It bends the light a bit too much, so the focus point ends up landing just in front of the retina. What happens then is by the time the light actually reaches the retina, it's already started to spread out again, and that's why things far away look all blurry. And for farsighted people, well, it's the exact opposite problem. Their lens doesn't bend the light quite enough. The focus point, if it could, would actually land somewhere behind the retina. This means the light hits the sensor before it's had a chance to fully come into focus, and that's what makes stuff up close look blurry. So in both of these cases, notice something important. The world is fine, the light is fine, your eye is basically fine. The only problem is where that light ends up landing. And this is what makes the solution so incredibly elegant and simple. So, what do glasses actually do? What's the big secret to solving this problem? You're gonna love this, it's almost ridiculously simple. All they do is bend the light. That's it. They bend the light before it even gets to your eye. They just give it a tiny little nudge, a pre-correction, so that when your own eye's lens takes over, the light lands perfectly on the retina, right where it was meant to go all along. Seriously, that's it. They don't add detail, they don't enhance reality, they're just like a little steering wheel for light, guiding it from confusion to perfect clarity. Okay, so now we know how they work. But that brings up a whole other question, right? I mean, a blurry world isn't dangerous. So why does putting on your glasses and getting that clarity, why does it feel so good? What is that feeling of relief all about? Well, it's because living with blur is absolutely exhausting. Your brain is constantly working overtime, just trying to make sense of all these fuzzy, unclear signals coming from your eyes. And that extra effort, it causes real physical problems, constant eye strain, headaches, and just that feeling of being completely wiped out. So the biggest benefit of glasses isn't just seeing better. It's about giving your brain a much-needed break. When you deliver a clean, sharp signal, all that constant mental and physical strain just goes away. That feeling of relief when you put on your glasses, that's literally your brain taking a deep breath and finally getting to relax. And this brings us to a huge myth that we really need to bust right now. You hear it all the time, that wearing glasses makes your eyes weaker or lazier. No. The exact opposite is true. By getting rid of all that unnecessary strain, your glasses are actually helping your whole visual system work more efficiently, not making it weaker. So the next time you slide your glasses on, just remember this: nothing about you has changed, and nothing about the world has changed. All you've done is put a guide in front of your eyes. It's a simple, brilliant tool that doesn't fix you. It just guides the light, letting your brain finally see the sharp, beautiful world that was there all along, with zero effort.